Hello everyone, very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Samrat Sir Mishra and you are watching OPSC Unacademy. Welcome to Unacademy, the largest e-learning platform in India. So climatology पर discussion हमें start करिथिले. We have discussed concepts related to insolation, heating of the atmosphere, energy and forms of their transformation, temperature belt, factors controlling the temperature distribution. In that we have discussed all the horizontal aspects, latitude, altitude, differential behavior of the Earth's surface, ocean currents, winds, cloudiness, geographical position. Now we will discuss the vertical aspect of temperature distribution, that is the inversion of temperature. Join to Unacademy Plus and use this referral code EGOS to get 10% subscription upon your course fees. Detailed explanation description box रे दिया जायछि. You can go through those explanations. Now let's start the discussion on temperature. First we will understand what an isotherm is. जेमते हमें isobar discussion करथिले कि let's say there are three places A, B and C and the pressure at all the places is equal, and we will draw an imaginary line which will connect all these three places, that is known as isobar. In the same way, let's understand there are three places where the temperature is same. So से place को जदि हमें connect करूचंती इन गोटे imaginary line through, that imaginary line is nothing but known as isotherm. These isotherms are parallel lines and imaginary lines. If the isotherm भितर space कम थाए, narrow space थाए, then we have to understand that the temperature gradient is more, temperature easily change होची बा जल्दी change होची. यदि wide space थिबो दिटा isotherm भितर, then this is temperature gradient कम बा temperature change कम होची बोली हम बुझे. So all of a sudden ocean continent boundary रू जिवे, ocean रू continent को जिवे, then isotherm suddenly bend करे. The distribution of the temperature I discussed. The diurnal and annual range, this is quite high in case of continents, and this is the diurnal means on daily basis change difference in the temperature, and annual means annual mean temperature difference. ये continent रे अधिक and ocean रे कम. Temperature जदि अधिक देखिबा then it is more at the tropics and at the subtropics. Equator रे temperature अधिक नय. Now the question may arise in your mind that why the temperature is not high over the tropics, is not high over the equator, because at the equator insolation is more definitely, but the temperature is less. Due to the more insolation, cloudiness is more, convection is more, cloudiness is more, and hence rainfall is more. जेहेतु rainfall अधिक हुए, automatically that leads to drop in the temperature. So but in the over tropics and subtropics the temperature is high. Now we'll discuss the vertical aspect of the temperature, or which is known as the inversion of temperature. Simply जेतोळे हम altitude increase हुए, high altitude को जानते from the low altitude, height बढ़े जेतोळे from the surface of the earth towards the in the above direction, then there will be decrease in the temperature. 6.5 degree centigrade temperature decrease हुए per kilometer. 1 kilometer गले 6.5 degree centigrade temperature decrease होता है, which is known as the normal lapse rate. The normal lapse rate जेतोळे हम देखंती, that is aggregate for the all the locations, all the positions of the earth. यदि हम गोटे particular जगह रे particular place रे lapse rate काढुचंती, let's say हमें भुवनेश्वर ऊपर lapse rate काढुचंती, and 6.5 degree centigrade means that is the average change, average lapse rate. But actual lapse rate कहले हमें कोन बुझंती, गोटे particular place रो lapse rate, because सब place रे तो 6.5 degree centigrade कम होवनी per kilometer, and it will vary from place to place. Equator रे जति के आसीबो, pole रे जति के आसीबो, temperate zone रे जति के आसीबो, torrid zone रे आसीबो, the quantity will vary. So for that purpose we can say that the actual lapse rate means गोटे particular place रे जतोळे हमें vertical aspect of the temperature देखंती ताको actual lapse rate बोली कहै जाय. So the next is the negative lapse rate. Negative lapse rate means lapse rate दुई प्रकार, गोटे positive and गोटे negative. Positive lapse rate means with increase in the height there will be decrease in the temperature, and negative lapse rate means with increase in the height there will be increase in the temperature. जो उल्टा कथा हुए normal lapse rate रो उल्टा कथा अर्थात ऊपर को वाले temperature हमें देखते हैं height बढ़िले temperature decrease होता है. For that purpose we visit the hill stations like Mussoorie, Nainital, Shimla, Darjeeling, all those, and height बढ़िले एटी temperature drop होता है. But जो height बढ़िया से तो temperature increase हुए ताको हमें negative lapse rate बा inversion of temperature बोली को. Now we will discuss different types of inversion of temperature. Basically, inversion is classified into two types: ground or surface inversion of temperature and upper air inversion of the temperature. Ground inversion, again it is of three types: radiational inversion, air drainage type inversion, advection inversion. Upper air inversion temperature तीन प्रकार: convection, frontal and trade wind inversion. First we will discuss about the radiation type of inversion. यहाँ पे किसी बेसिक प्री रिक्वायरमेंट्स रही ये रिक्वायरमेंट रहिले ही रेडिएशन टाइप ऑफ इन्वर्जन होता है जेमति कि फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट इज द लॉन्ग विंटर नाइट हेले कोन सुविधा हो बा ये केमति कंडीसिव एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करिवो रेडिएशनल इन्वर्जन पाए लॉन्ग नाइट दैट विल अलाउ द outgoing radiation to exceed the incoming solar radiation. Definitely at the daytime the incoming solar radiation is more. ମୁଁ କହିଥିଲି कि earth receives incoming solar radiation in the form of short waves and sun is the only source, single source for the earth to get hit. And in the same way earth जो heat radiate करे ताकू हमें earth जो heat radiate करे that is called terrestrial radiation and in the form of long wave radiation. And in the long nights what happen, the incoming solar radiation is less than the outgoing terrestrial radiation. earth जति की हिट वा रेडिएशन करे जति की एनर्जी रेडिएट करे सी इनकमिंग सोलर रेडिएशन टू अधिक होता है. सो फॉर दैट पर्पस रेडिएशन इन्वर्जन एटी अकर होता है. द सेकंड रिक्वायरमेंट इज द क्लियर स्काई. यदि स्काई क्लियर न रहे यदि क्लाउड रहइबो देन टेरेस्ट्रियल रेडिएशन बाहर को जाई परिबनी. सो दैट प्रॉब्लम कोन हो एटी देखथिबे क्लाउड अधिक रहले ड्यूरिंग इन द क्लाउडीनेस अधिक गरम हमें फील करंत. So clear sky is required so that the loss of the heat by the earth that will more rapid. यदि क्लाउड अधिक रुहते ऊपर देन ये अर्थ जो हीट लॉस करे ये ही परिबनी मोर रैपिड ही परिबनी प्रोसेस रैपिड ही पारे. द नेक्स्ट इज द काम एयर. काम एयर इज रिक्वायर्ड बिकॉज यदि अधिक कन्वेक्शन हुए देन इट विल अलाउ द मिक्सिंग ऑफ द एयर विल बी देयर. एयर मिक्सिंग हेले टेंपरेचर इन्वर्जन ही पारे. रादर काम एयर इज द रिक्वायर्ड in which there will be cold air in the lowermost part and there will be hot or warm air in the uppermost part. यदि ये mixing हो जाए then temperature changes आसीजिवो. So during a long winter night when the terrestrial radiation will increase, the outgoing terrestrial radiation will be more than the insolation, then at that point of time night temperature will come down, cool down, land will radiate more rapidly than the air. So ground पाखर जो air particles थी atmosphere रे ये those air will be more cold. So upper atmosphere जो air अच्छी now that is warm. Lower atmosphere जो air अच्छी that is cold. So हमें देखते ले पूर्वरु की normal कौन हुए ना cold atmosphere हमें ऊपर गोले altitude height increase हवा सहित पाते. But in this case what happens, cold air is there in the ground and in the upper atmosphere there is warm air. So automatically it is inversion of the temperature होची बोले हमें कहि परिबा. And as it is caused by the terrestrial radiation, it is called radiational type of inversion. The next is the air drainage type of inversion. Air drainage type of inversion by एक valley type inversion बोली मध्य कहा जाए. This is also called valley type inversion. देखो ये जो figure देखुछन एठी in the uppermost part, in this part what happens, in the uppermost part the air which you will be finding in this zone that will be cold. ये एठी cold air पाइबे. But in the lower part ये valley region ने एठी पाइबे जो air that will be warm. कौन पाए जो saucers, the shape is like a saucer shaped. जो soup पियंती देखिए तो soup रो ऊपर part that is in close contact with the atmosphere, so that is why that will be more cool, whereas in the below part that will be more warm. And a part देखते हैं cold रहिला upper part and below part that will be warm. At the night what will happen, the cold part जो अच्छी cold air mass अच्छी there weight बढ़िया कारण it will start sinking. ये lower direction में sink करियो तल को आसो. So warm air now it will move in the upward direction. ये upward direction में warm air move करिवो because of the warm air is lighter as compared to the cold air, so that is why cold air will be in the lower part and warm air will be there in the above the cold air, and it will create inversion, and this type of inversion is called air drainage or valley type inversion. The next is the advection type of inversion. Advection no simple meaning होची कि horizontal movement of the wind is advection हमें देखते हैं, convection है up and down movement and advection है horizontal movement होता है. When warm and cold air mass they combine, they converge with each other or they approach towards each other, what happens? The warm air mass being the lightest, it will be there above the cold air mass. Cold air mass रे जेतु density अधिक ये below part रहेगा, and warm air mass जेतु density कम, that will rise or that will be there over the cold air mass, right? So as this is due to the horizontal movement of the wind, that is called advection type of inversion. This is here in the figure, cold air mass is below and the warm air mass is above the cold one. The next is the upper air inversion. Upper air inversion, this phenomena is related to the convection. Convection हमें देखते हैं कि there is up and down movement of the air. So when in this case what happens, जेतबेले temperature अधिक होगा in the below part, lower part, temperature अधिक होगा कारणରୁ wind air particles they will start moving in the upward direction. ये upward direction एटी movement करियो, and when upward direction में movement करिवे near the tropopause they will condense, and condensation ହେଲା ପରେ weight बढ़िबा, and weight बढ़िला ପରେ again it will come back to the lower part by ये sink करिवे. ये जो black mark रे मु wind देखिछि, it is the ये माने due to the convection the wind is rising, and जो blue रे देखिछि due to the cold ହେଲା ପରେ ये sink करछि तळ खसुछि. ने जो ऊपर part देखुचंदी tropopause, near the tropopause, ये जो black रे मु देखिछि एटी warm air mass जाउछि, it doesn't mean कि ये exactly same way जाए. So because there is a from the various angle एटी atmosphere रे mixing way. So ये air mass जेतबेले एमटी एटी advection होछि in the upper layer, horizontal movement करूछि, तो किछि air particles एमाने एमती movement करि पारंती, माने completely तळको न आसीकी ये again in the tropopause ये गोटे cyclic formation करि पारंती, माने again right to left movement करि पारंती. एटी जो blue air mass देखुछन ये एमती movement करि पारे, ई डायरेक्शन ये एमती movement करि पारे. So एपट टू left रो जो wind जाइछि black color, that is the warm one because ये तो convection ପାଇଁ जाउछि, and जोटा subside କରୁछि that is cold one. वर्तमान कोन होछि ना cold air mass एमती जाई कि तळे रहउछि and warm air mass ऊपर को रहउछि. So cold above the cold there is warm air mass, it means temperature is increasing. cold रो हम warm आड़ को temperature increase करियो. So for that purpose we can say temperature inversion occurs here, and this type of inversion is known as the convection type of inversion. Next is the frontal inversion. Frontal inversion basically ये front जेतबेले create हुए ए type रे inversion हुए. Front केतबेले create हुए when cold and the warm air mass they converge or mix up with each other, then a front is created. The word जो front देखुचंती देखिथिबे जेतबेले महाभारत मूवी रे देखिथिबे जेतबेले बा किछि सीरियल देखिथिबे तो युद्ध हुए war time रे दी टाइप रू माने दीटा सोल्जर परस्पर आडको जेतबेले आसंती, and middle part देखिथिबे जो ताको ट्रांजिशन जोन ताको front बोली कहंती, and the front word एउठु ही origin हेछि. जेतबेले दीटा टाइप रो different characteristics रो air mass, warm air mass and cold air mass, they approaches towards each other. When they approaches towards each other, a front is created, and in this case what will happen, the advection जेमते हम देखथिले warm air mass will override the cold one because of the low density, because of the low weight, it will there in the above the cold air mass, and a front is created, and this is known as the frontal inversion because warm air mass super roche and cold air mass एटी तळे रोचे below part रे. So in the जेतबेले हम upward direction रे movement करिवा, there will be a front will be created, but temperature एटी increase होबो in the upward direction, जहा को हमें frontal inversion बोली कहबा. ये कोन पय create हेछि ना, this is due to the convergence of warm air mass and cold air mass. This is the frontal inversion. Warm air mass is there in the above the cold air mass, front एटी create हेछि. Next factors governing insolation. Solar output or solar constant, I discussed about it. What happens, the amount of solar energy the earth receives per square centimeter area per minute is called the solar constant, and this is 2 calorie per square meter per minute. गोटे मिनिट रे 2 calorie रो energy गोटे स्क्वायर सेंटीमीटर एरिया रे अर्थ रिसीव करे ताको सोलर कांस्टेंट बोली कहते। सो इट आल्सो अफेक्ट्स द इंसोलेशन इनकमिंग सोलर रेडिएशन कि अर्थ केते एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब करूछ। द नेक्स्ट इज द अर्थ एंड द सन रिलेशनशिप, अर्थ एंड द sun relation. So distance from the sun is also important because the earth is not revolving around the sun in a circular orbit, rather the orbit I can say is elliptical. For that purpose many times earth will be nearer to the sun and sometimes earth will be away from the sun. When it is near to the sun, that is the perihelion case, the phenomena is known as perihelion, and this is 147 million kilometer. The earth is 147 million kilometer away from the sun. ये 3rd January रहता है, आपको perihelion कहते हैं. In the same way 4th July रे aphelion हुए, where earth is far away from the sun 152 million kilometer. तो यदि perihelion और aphelion रे earth रा distance देखिए, then it is approximately 5 million kilometer रा vary करूची, variation होची earth sun relationship रे बा earth sun रे distance रे. For that purpose during perihelion the earth receives more insolation than aphelion. In aphelion earth receives less insolation because ये sun to दूर को जाए, sun to जते दूर को जीवो automatically it amount of insolation will decrease. The next is the sun's angle, sun ray angle. Jodi dekhibe in the lower latitude sun directly hits a perpendicular to the region, to the area, and these rays are this short distance travel dekhuntu eti ye sun rays कम distance travel करछि and small area ऊपर पड़ुछि. So concentration eti अधिक, automatically temperature will be more. And in the higher latitude the sun rays are not straight, rather they are oblique, and it is dissipated or it is spreaded to a larger area. ये large area को dissipate हो जाउछि बा spread करि जाउछि. For that purpose the temperature will be the temperature एठी कोन होछि ना, temperature टी spread करि जाउछि बा distribute हो जाउछि. It is distributed over a large area and automatically the energy will be less as compared to the lower latitudes. Hope this was clear. So this is related to inversion, types of inversion, in which we discussed all types: radiational, air tunnels, advection, convection, frontal, and the trade wind inversion. In trade wind inversion, what happens when westerlies and the polar easterlies, they will converge with each other in the subpolar low pressure belt, then it is called trade wind inversion. सॉरी एटी भी सॉरी एटा को हमें देखले advection एटी हमें देखले को frontal inversion ने सेम थिंग हैपेंड जोटी वेस्टर्ली और ईस्टर्ली मिसले ट्रेड विंड रे कोन हुए जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट ट्रेड विंड एंड साउथ ईस्ट ट्रेड विंड जोटी आईटीसीजेड रे मिक्स होंती. आईटीसीजेड इंटरट्रॉपिकल कन्वर्जेंस जोन एटी लो प्रेशर रेट हुए एंड इट स्टार्ट मूविंग इन द अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. सो एटी ट्रेड विंड पाइन ट्रेड विंड कन्वर्ज होतबा कारण भी टेंपरेचर चेंजेस हुए जाको हमें ट्रेड विंड इन्वर्जन बोली को. So we discussed the vertical aspect of the temperature, which is called inversion of the temperature. So from today itself a new batch in Unacademy Plus has been started. Samiksha batch, this is a foundation course for pre-com mains. This is a foundation course for pre-com mains OPSC examination. Join to the course, use this referral code EGOS so that you will be getting 10% off upon your subscription amount. Explanation has been given in the description box, you can go through that. So to apna clear cut explanation dekhi paribe. And more next upcoming class attend kariya pai you can follow me in Unacademy. So thank you everyone, see you in the next class. Have a good day.